Hello everybody and welcome to an Elite Dangerous live stream. My name's Will, as you can see promptly down here.
Oh yes.
And tonight I'm joined by Paige Harvey, or I should say Paige Harvey is joined by me.
Yes,
because
something like that.
I'm taking over your show a little bit
You
today.
are, you've joined me as my next guest.
Yes, so before we begin the live stream, let's talk about what this live stream is all about.
Okay.
This is the Stargazing Tours.
Yes.
So what is Stargazing Tours for anyone tuning?
So Stargazing Tours is a series where myself and a guest, sometimes Sally, sometimes other people like Will take you around pretty and cool places in the galaxy, have a look at some lore, have a look at some science, and basically just sort of understand the galaxy a bit more.
Cool. So that's what we're doing tonight. Yeah. It is titled Bridging the Gap after the new Interstellar Initiative, so we should talk about that as well.
Yep, we will.
So that's what's going on. It's been a while since we've been, or at least since I've been on a live stream, because we usually do our Monday slot, and then we had bank holidays here in the UK.
Yep.
And as much as I wanted to stream from my bed, I don't think people would have enjoyed it.
No, you'd just be sleeping.
I would be sleeping.
You'd just be sleeping.
And this Monday, of course, we were announcing the Interstellar Initiative, so we're all full steam ahead with that. Yep. Just me, or is it mega quiet, says Commander Milan. Do let us know if it is a bit quiet so we can
sort that out. And obviously Monday coming up is a bank holiday as well.
It is. It is.
Nobody is piloting Yuri. I think myself and Sally established it's a small cat.
It's a small cat.
It's a small cat just up the front there while we come and talk to you guys. Yeah. So sounds about right.
Yes.
Sounds about right.
Little caveat for tonight's stream. It is a little talky. I'm going to be in the background trying to delve into some Guardian sites. But Paige, you've got a nice tome of information.
I do.
Some extract from the Codex, which is out there for you to delve in even more detail. But there's some interesting things about the Guardians, which we're going to go into a little bit. And then, of course, we're going to just talk about the sites for the Interstellar Initiatives, or the Bridging the Gap Initiative. Interstellar Initiative.
There you go. Hashtag talkie build. Essentially, yeah, we're going to go into a bit of the lore about the Guardians, because they have a surprisingly rich and full lore. There's a lot to know about them. There's a good 10 to 12 pages of lore on them in the Codex, which is great. So I've picked out some bits and bobs. And then we're going to go over the candidate systems, a little bit about the Interstellar Initiatives, and you're going to have a look around one of the Guardian sites, so everyone has some nice visuals to go with.
Yeah, I'm right here.
There
now,
we are.
Hovering above it.
There we go.
Joda says maybe need something that rolls off the tongue easier. Interstellar Initiatives is very difficult to pronounce.
Interstellar Initiatives.
Interstellar Initiatives.
So yes, the ship we're currently in is a crate. Mark II, I believe. So this is the Stargazer. This is the ship that we use to go around the galaxy and have a look at all the cool things. But yeah, it's very nice.
It's nice, and the pilot's changed as well.
It has.
Because you had some very interesting pilots.
I had some very strange. I made a new one earlier for fun. So, but yes, so we're at one of the Guardian sites at the minute, one of the candidate sites, and we'll be talking about that shortly. But first, let's, I guess, address the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
It's not really an elephant.
It's not an elephant.
It's more of a donkey, but
I'm going to say it's what's the word? I've lost it. It was on the tip of my tongue. Curated narrative is what I'm going to call it. But yeah, sure, let's say elephant.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Chris says, elephant in the room, I'm not that fat. We weren't talking about you, Chris. Yeah. It's absolutely fine. I was talking about Will. So, it's the pink shirt. It's the pink elephants on parade. Salmon. Okay. So, Bridging the Gap is Elite Dangerous' first Interstellar Initiative, which we can both say now. Great. So essentially, we took the old community goals, we looked at them and realised that after a couple of years, while they were still interesting, you could still get involved with them, they'd gotten a bit samey, I think it's fair to say, pick up this thing, go here, fight this person.
And that's not just our assessment of them, it's the feedback we got from the community as well.
So after having a proper look at it, the devs got all the community feedback, we decided, okay, let's make something more fun. And so we came up with the idea of Interstellar Initiatives, which is going to involve a lot more help from the devs.
Yep.
It's going to involve a lot more from you guys, shaping how the galaxy works and the decisions that happen. Yep. And this one started off with a forum vote.
A forum vote.
Which we understand wasn't your favourite thing.
Yeah.
we can say that we do think you're going to enjoy the rest of it a lot more.
Yeah.
This bit was essential to getting the rest of it kicked off.
Yeah.
Because if we don't know where you want to go, we've got nowhere to start. But we do hear what you say in regards to getting a vote in game, or getting another form of doing a poll, getting people, you know, more in the game than out of it. So we have fed that back. Devs are aware, we're aware, and we're going to see what we can do about that in the future.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's worth saying, and we have addressed this on the forums as well.
Yes.
That trying to get more visibility to the vote and to the Interstellar initiatives, because we want as many people absolutely to get involved with this.
Yeah.
And I can say that we're looking at ways to provide more exposure to these events. I'm trying to land as well while trying to say this. But we have loads of players on Xbox and PS4, and there are definitely ways we can inform them about this as well. So we are working on, we do take the feedback, we do listen, read a lot of it, and we do, you know, we go through it and we discuss it with the team, so it is worth saying that. Right now, that's unlikely to change. We're not going to introduce the vote, we're not going to extend the vote to in-game or anything like that. It's still running on the forums, and we do implore people, if you want to vote and want to get part in this part of it, go and do that. But we also hear what you're saying about having more accessibility in game. What I can say is the future phases of bridging the gap. So there's the Interstellar Initiatives, which is the entire thing, and bridging the gap is the first one. It starts with this vote. It doesn't end with this vote. There is more coming.
This isn't the whole thing. It's not just this.
Yeah, but we're also not going to go into much detail about it either.
No. So we will get to that as soon as we can. And I think you will be pleased with the rest of it. I was quite excited when I heard about the rest of it. Yeah. And yes, there's that word excitement again, but I genuinely was. I thought it sounded fun. So you'll get to hear more. But yeah, the vote is still open, and it will be open until
the 6th of May.
6th of May. That's the one. If you don't know what difference voting makes Cypher, essentially there are 5 choices for Guardian systems. And you get to pick which one that you would like a mega ship to go from the system Zende going to there, and another ship going back. And it will happen once a week on a Thursday morning, I think, with the ticks, about 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So make sure you're on it if you want to be on it. But essentially, like, a lot of people can jump 600 light years. Some people really don't want to. I tend to not want to, because I just like going in my circle and making money.
Yeah.
But you also might want to be like, I'm going to take out a small Cobra, and I don't have enough money to like fully A-rate it yet, so it's going to take me forever to go there. You can instead just jump on the mega ship and off you go. Yeah. Sorted. Nice and easy. So
there you go.
Yeah.
So that's and it's also worth saying that it's so while it has a practical use for players, it's also symbolic as well about this corporation Zende Partners, who are making efforts to set up an outpost out there near the Guardian sites. So yeah, it's worth saying that it's twofold. It's also symbolic of the narrative that we want to push with this.
And you can't just put an entire story in at once, or it's just happened and it's done and it's gone, and you know.
Yeah, and
nothing to do.
There's many phases of this, and we can't. We obviously don't want to tell you everything, because you have to kind of wait and see and be part of that as it evolves.
So this one's obviously started with this vote, and the idea is that a group called Zende Partners has announced that they plan to establish a ferry system between Zende and one of these 5 systems that you can pick from. We'll go over later what the differences between them are. But when the community have chosen a system, the mega ship will be going one there and one back every week. Pretty simple, nice and easy. There will be more to do with that later. We will explain that soon. Essentially, Zende wants to be able to have easier access to Guardian technology, to maybe develop new technologies, and to make some more money for themselves, because they are a business and that's what they want to do.
Yeah, Guardian tech is very lucrative, and it makes sense that there are many parties out there who want to be involved with it.
Yep. Yeah. So making some money. Making money, and you can make some money as well. You can go scan some things. But I mean, like, you could take the ferry there and then do your own way back and scan a bunch of stuff and make some exploration data. Yeah. Or you could fly yourself there and then go like, oh, I can't be bothered to go back on my own, and hop a ferry back. You don't have to go both ways, which is pretty good. Just realised where we are. I'm like, oh, blue. Blue,
yeah. I'm trying to concentrate on both what Paige is saying and also drive. And it's I'm doing all right, but you guys are the better judges of that.
yes, so Craith says that Guardian sites are much nicer to look at without the night vision.
It's quite dark around here.
It's very dark at the minute. The one I decided to go to was pretty, but a little bit difficult to see at the minute because it's quite dark.
So we're putting night vision on, else you'll just see me bumping into things.
The other
you
one,
already will see that, but
I love these, the way that these are designed though. So obviously they're very old. We're going to get into a little bit of Guardian lore in a minute. It's quite a bit to go through, so bear with me. But I love how all these things sort of jutting out of rocks and dirt and dust, they're all sort of circuit boards and bits of old technology.
Exposed for my attempt to gather some materials for the Stargazer.
So, let's talk a little bit about the Guardians then, before we get into obviously why people want... Oh no, oh mate, no, not the Sentinels.
I'm going to come back and let you carry on.
Oh no.
Turn tail and run! Get out of here!
I do love the Sentinels though. Right. Oh gosh.
It's alright, I'm fine. I'm not fine.
Oh, okay, you're rolling. That's... Oh no. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Incoming missile. Right, Paige.
In fact, we are going to talk a little bit about these anyway, so... So yes, this is a bit of a talky stream, so I do apologise, but, you know, grab a cup of tea, put your feet up, and let's learn a little bit about the Guardians. How much do you know about the Guardians already?
I'm going to just say, for the sake of the live stream, I'm going to say nothing. Else, if I say everything...
Okay, you pew-pew that.
I'm going to pew-pew this.
So, let's start with the basics. So the Guardians were a non-human race, and they lived several million years ago. Civilization was superior to what humanity currently has in the 33rd century. So what you're seeing, well, the remains of it, was far more advanced than what we currently have. And this spooky little boy is a Sentinel. I love him.
Control scheme am I on?
I don't. I have it set up for me, but yeah.
It's fine. I've got this.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So, let's have a look. So yeah, a lot of the information that I'm going to tell you comes directly from the Codex, sort of made a little bit easier to sort of speak. But if you want to know more about them or expand on anything that I say, if you head to the Codex in-game, there is so much to know. Like, I've left out the entire section about the Thargoid War. We'll get to that another day. But essentially, so the Guardians, they were bipedal. They were taller and slimmer than the average human, with pinkish reddish skin, which I think is what Will's gone for today. You've gone for the Guardian aesthetic.
By accident.
So, yes, pinkish reddish skin. They had little round eyes. They had 4 digits on each hand, like the Simpsons. Brilliant eyesight, but their sense of smell was poorer than the humans. They had 2 sexes, and they reproduced sexually. And each Guardian was required to be a parent at least once in their lives to continue their genetic line.
Right, okay, so...
Which is interesting, because they then had a problem with overpopulation, so not sure that worked out too well for them, but that's fine, that's fine. That's what they had. The babies were raised by communal creches, not traditionally by 2 parents, so you would be sort of brought up by your clan or your village, so you'd learn a lot from a lot of other people.
That's how I view the community. I've been raised by them. Aramis asked if I was cosplaying as a Guardian.
Yes, today you are a Guardian.
Yeah.
So it's worked out quite well, actually. So, the Society of Guardians, it originally consisted of pack hunters. So they banded together for mutual protection on their planet before they organised into clans, some at the north and some in the south. None really in the middle. So they kind of went up or they went down, and they were very, very clever, so they easily became the planet's apex predators. And then they started, you know, oh dear.
It's alright, I'm all fine.
It's alright, I was just like, oh, that was cool. Either way. So yeah, they became the planet's apex predator. We don't know much else about what they hunted, but that's kind of what we have for now. And Guardian civilization consists of 2 discrete ethnic groups, one from the north and one from the south. Pretty simple. If you lived up top, I think you had slightly darker skin. If you lived down the bottom, you had whiter skin, but always pink in the middle. So
sort of like in England, the emboldened rivalry between the north and the south is embodied by the Guardians.
Something like that. Something like that. Grievous Harm is asking how you Earthlings would know that in-game. We will get to that in a little bit. Don't worry, we got that. And the North does remember. And yes, so as Commander Argo says, they're kind of medium rare.
Sorry, there's a really good question. Batman asks here, anyone tell me, is this going to be a wise idea for a 2-week-old commander to participate in this content? Will I be signing my own death warrant? I think this is a great opportunity to get involved. You start to learn about how to engage with the Guardian sites. You can gather some Guardian materials which you'll inevitably need to unlock Guardian modules. So yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Go out with a lot of other commanders who know what they're talking about and can help protect you or help fight alongside you. You'll be able to get a lot of help. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, Guardian civilization, 2 groups, 1 north, 1 south. Pretty simple. Thing is, as they started to go towards the middle, as their societies got bigger and they started encroaching on each other's territory, they started killing each other. Because of course they did.
That's how it works, right?
And as such, a civil war erupted and they started fighting and killing each other. And eventually, even though they were smaller, the northern clan overcame the southern clans, killed them all, took the territory and the rest of the civilization, and led the world peacefully for a while, which was great.
That's good.
Until the No.
Oh.
The civilization developed super rapidly from that point. They were peaceful and prosperous for a few thousand years. But the problem was, because they were developing so fast, they started drawing on all the resources that their planet had, and they realized that they needed to get into space because there was no room, there was no food, there was no fuel, there was just nothing left on their planet that, you know, they'd fought so hard to get, which is a problem.
Yeah, when you excel at such a rate.
Yeah, So their tech progressed. They got into space with little ships, and then they got better and better and better and had even bigger ships. And they were able to spread across the galaxy nice and easily. And at the peak, at the peak of their civilization, they owned an area roughly the same size that humanity owns now, so about the size of the bubble, which is pretty impressive, which is why you'll see a lot of these things popping up in weird places, you know, near brain trees, so we've got quite no idea really what they do right now, but it's all near each other, which is interesting. But yeah, so that's when we come to this thing. So all of these weird sites we started finding are part of what's called the Monolith Network. And the Monolith
Network.
The Monolith Network was part of an interstellar comm system. So essentially like the internet, but all the way across space. Instantaneous, you know, very incredibly fast, share information, talk to each other. But to connect to it, you had to have a chip put in your head.
It's about there? Or?
Probably. We don't know what their heads look like. So yeah, you had a chip put in your head which allowed you to connect to the monoliths and sort of share with everybody else. But obviously, there were a sect of Guardians who didn't like this and didn't want to constantly be connected to every other Guardian, you know, via these weird sites. And because they were spread all the way across the galaxy, you just couldn't communicate otherwise. So they weren't too happy. But soon after, the ones that did have the neural chips, they kept working on the technology, and they developed the first fully sentient machines, which we know as constructs. And that's where these guys come in.
So we're talking, when we say these, we talk the Guardian Sentinels that I'm trying to evade right now.
Yes, so the Sentinels were one of the weapon types, the automated weapon types that the Guardians came up with, and and they used to fight their wars, essentially. So new neural implants, when these types of things were created, were put in the heads of the people that wanted them. The problem with them was they connected all of the AI sort of weaponry to the monoliths, to the Guardians, and so the ones that had the implants in their heads could control this weaponry, and the ones that didn't would use bioweapons. And after another civil war between the two groups, and catastrophic loss of life between the two, they essentially decided, we're going to just step back and we're going to fly our drones out, which is what you see here with these Sentinels. We're going to send out our drone guns, we're going to send out our bioweapons, but we're going to stay back ourselves and survive. And it lasted about 100 years of them just keep firing stuff at each other, and the civilization fell apart.
Yeah. So, and that's why we just see these ruins. Obviously, that's easy for me to say, I'm in one. But Burley D says, why are we reading the codex out? So what Paige has done is she's extracted elements of the codex, pieces of the codex that she thought was quite interesting as part of the Stargazing Tours, and now we're sort of just delving into it a little bit, a little bit of context of who the Guardians are, because they're essential to bridging the gap in terms of their leftovers are why we're out here.
Yeah, so you've got the choice of going to 5 Guardian systems, but what is the thing you're going to find? What does this do? Commander Puffler, can we tell you about their language? I can't right now, but there is an entire document in the Codex about their language. They have 3 languages, a written, a glyph language, and a spoken language. The spoken language developed first, then the glyph, then the written, I think. But yeah, definitely double check the Codex. There is an entire document in there, which was super interesting to read. If you're like me and you loved, like in Mass Effect, learning all about the Quarians and all this type of thing, you're going to love the Codex. But yes, as Maldor96 says, this is what we're getting on to next. So after they started using automated war machines and they started using bioweapons and they stepped back from the war themselves, the AI constructs that they'd made, which were, you know, fully neural net learning computers, and they were learning and they were figuring out what was going on, they were horrified. Like, they absolutely abhorred what was going on. It was awful. And they came to the conclusion that even if the Guardians stopped fighting, they would never be able to get rid of their violent natures. It would never stop. They would just find another thing to fight about. And so the AI decided what they needed to do was kill them all.
So the AI made a pragmatic, machine-like decision, obliterate everything, because it's just...
So they took control of every AI weapon, like the Guardian Sentinels here. They took control of any weapon they had, any technology they had, turned it on the people that created it, and decimated them. Absolutely. They took out every single one they could find. Every single one. All of them gone. And what's left is this. And we know a lot of this from the Guardian monoliths and the data points, and that's what was left behind. You know, Ramtar gave us a decryption program in 3303, which you could use to get information from pylons and learn bits about the civilization from what was left behind, because there's no one left to tell you.
Yeah. So it's extracting and excavating that.
So
information.
It's pretty awesome. It's pretty sad, but that's just a very short history of what the Guardians are, who they are, where they came from. There's so much more to learn about them, about their languages and their physiology, the technology, the wars, their Thargoid wars. Like, there's so much, and you can listen to it all if you don't want to read it, which is awesome. So that's why I was doing a bit of when I was working. I had those on and was listening to them, which was really great. So do that. It's just, it's so rich. I love it.
And there's a whole lot out there to sort of get stuck into. 1 second, guys. I'm just trying to do this while you're all watching.
That's all right. You've managed to pick up a fair few things, which is good.
Yeah, I've been collecting. I'm trying to find the power pylons. So now, if you're watching this and you're not really sure what I'm up to, I'm trying to learn some secrets about the Guardians. Now, we have covered this in previous live streams, hence why I'm not really doing a tutorial on it. I'm just sort of flitting around trying to find these pylons. And
sorry.
No, you go for it.
Got excited for a second. Daft Mav says, I've lost the comment now, but Daft Mav was saying, what happened to the ones that didn't want to use technology? They were the same to the constructs as the ones that did, because they still fought a war. They still kept trying to kill each other no matter what went on, so they were all eradicated. And obviously, Vijo Viajero says, are we 100% sure there were no Guardian survivors? I don't think you can be 100% sure of anything, but all I know so far is that we've never ever found one, and it's been a few million years since it happened.
Yeah, and the only technology we have of them, or at least sort of the remnants of it, is these ruins. Yeah. So.
And where did the constructs go? They didn't really go anywhere. That's the thing. You'll still find AI tech living, well, not living because it's not live, but you'll still find it operating, fully functional here at these sites. And it will attack you. It doesn't want you to have this stuff.
As you have seen.
Yes, as you've seen.
But we must question who is more dangerous, Sentinels or myself.
In that picture, probably you, mate.
Probably me.
Probably. You must look like a Guardian to them. They're like, oh, not again.
Not these guys.
No.
We're just with the Stargazers. We're just a tour. We're just a tour guide.
Yeah.
So
we're just here to talk about it, man.
No, they're the ones I've charged.
Why are they called Guardians anyway? You know what? I'm not actually sure where they got the name Guardians. I'm guessing it would, like, if I was spitballing completely, because they held a lot of information, a lot of technology, and it was very advanced, so maybe they guarded, you know, technological secrets or something like that. But I don't know. I'll have to find out. It probably is in the codex, but I probably did, well, as I say, I went through all of it and then had to cut it down to 5 paragraphs from about 12 pages.
There's a lot to go through in there, which we might be able to see in a moment.
Commander Puffler says, was it the Sentinels that killed the Guardians? The Sentinels were one part of it. Essentially, their AI construct itself learned and decided to take all of its weapons, so the Sentinels, among other things, and use them to kill all of the Guardians.
It's because of the newspaper they read. It's not my joke, Commander Wotherspoon there. Great joke.
There we are. Who named them the Guardians? That would probably be the Lawmaster, but I would need to find out.
That could be various people. That could be David Braben himself, or we have a narrative team here who are responsible.
How are the Thargoids and the Guardians connected? So that's a bit of the story that I've left out. There is an entire section of it in the Codex. Essentially, the Guardians and the Thargoids did end up fighting. It didn't go well for either group, really. It was a very long document, hence me not reading it all out right now. Duck says, is this open mode on PS4? No, this is in solo on PC.
PC, yes.
Because you must not destroy my Stargazer.
Stargazer.
Do not attack the Stargazer.
I'm going to look after it. I'm taking it out for a spin, and I've promised. And you know what happens when I fly? I end up in situations where things get blown up, and it's fine with my ships. Yeah. Not fine with Paige.
Usually I'll fly an open, but I'm not giving Will my ship. No, I'm joking.
Oh, the system reset. Well, I know where 2 are. Now I do
love these. They are. I do love that the Guardians chose cyan as the colour, because that's my favourite colour.
And it's very different. What I like a lot about Guardian technology and Guardian related things is it's so different. You notice it straight away because it's got that blue hue, and we've got the orange hue.
Ben says, Paige, is it really a good idea to take this barely understood tech that could particularly contain AI constructs and merge it into our own ships? Probably not, but I don't see anyone telling Ramtar that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Like, nobody stopped him.
Experimental stuff.
They brought loads of stuff to him, and they, you know. Probably not, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to happen.
It's not a good idea, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't do it. I handled those Sentinels like they were nothing. The first one,
I think the first one just sort of spooked you, because I didn't know it was here either. When I came and viewed around the system, I didn't see any of them. So, as I say, I think they saw your shirt and then were like, no, and then sorted.
So the good thing about pylons is that they are usually, if not in all cases, and people will correct me here, symmetrical. I'm just trying to find it. Here you go. Ramtar.
Yes, for the couple of people mentioning not having a female voice when you are flying a fighter, we have reported that. It's being looked into. If you are experiencing it, if you could report it on the issue tracker or find a report that's already been made and add a comment, that would be fantastic. Because as you may have seen from earlier today, the reports that we received about missions, because they were put through the issue tracker and we had, you know, replication and we had screenshots, we knew exactly where to go and what to find, and it was so much easier, hence why we were able to get it sorted a lot quicker. So it really does help us if you use that. There we go. Yes.
I need to find these.
So
Look down and you can spot the pylons, but they need to come out of the ground, do they not, first?
Yeah, Jaquan says, here's how I feel about AI. Never trust anything that can think for itself if you can't see its brain.
What if it's like an exposed computer that has its circuit board on show?
Oh, it's not a brain still,
So the computer's brain.
Technically.
Page. Computer's brain. They think too. They think too.
Jess is asking, will we ever get cross-platform? Obviously, there's a bunch of games able to do it at the minute. It's still quite limited because it's still in beta stages for a bunch of games. It's something very cool that we like the idea of. If we do obviously have any information about it in the future and we want to go ahead with it, or we will let everyone know immediately.
Jodas says here, will we ever have Guardian material traders, and will they be at the same rate as the current material traders? I wouldn't rule it out, but it's certainly not planned for the moment.
Yeah.
But we were able to add it for materials, so maybe in the future.
Most people do keep their brains inside their skulls, Graith. Generally they do, which is handy. And Night Dragoon, if you are having trouble with the game, if you could get in touch with our support team, they will be more than happy to see what's going on with it and help you fix it. But okay, let's take a look at, well, not take a look, but I'm going to have a look at what the 5 systems are.
So let's just to bring this back around to why we're talking about the Guardians, why are we here reading all of this juicy lore? Well, it's because Bridging the Gap is our first Interstellar Initiative, and this is about looking into, or at least encroaching more on sort of former Guardian space and extracting what we can from it. Corporation Zende Partners hope to do that, and you want to use that technology to improve, well, human technology, or certainly mix it. So we have 5 sites that you guys can vote on the forums if you're inclined to cast your vote on found one. You take over page, I found one.
If you're inclined to vote, there are 5 on the forums, and I'm sure one of our lovely mods in each of the channels will be able to pop the link in for you. Essentially, 5 systems, each with a Guardian thing in it, where you are able to get bits of data and other bits and bobs. You decide which one you want to go to. A megaship will be set up, or a megaship route will be set up, one at Zende, one at X place that you choose, and they'll go back and forth every week, which is nice and handy.
And that's not just for the duration of the event, it's worth mentioning, that's forever.
Yes, so that's going to keep going.
Yeah.
Going to keep going. Some people have asked, can we talk about what the next stage for this is? Not yet. The thing is, it's a story. It's going to unfold as time goes on. This is the first part where you tell us, you know, where do you want this set up? Where do you want the next part of the story to take place? And you're going to have to play it out as it goes. If we told you all now, it'd just be spoilers.
Yeah.
So
you have to wait and see. Because obviously we would love to tell you, especially as you want to know why you're voting. What does this mean for the story? But right now, the vote is important in the sense that you're doing this vote so you can vote on a location where Zende Partners are going to sort of expand into.
But yes, we will have, there is an entire story for it and a bunch of information and fun things to do. So you will see more. So the first system, let's start where the one is. So currently we're in, oh gosh, how do we pronounce it again?
Sinuf.
Sinuef. There you
because
go.
you tracked down the person
Yes.
who wrote this and said, "What? How do you say this word?" So
We got there eventually.
Sinuef.
So currently we're in Sinuef ENH D1196. So this system is 784 light years from Sol, and it's 541 light years from Zende, which is nice and easy. So a fair decent distance. There we are.
Where the other one
Snoofy, Seamoof, it could be so many things. So it's a fair supercruise distance from the main star to the nearby Guardian site. It's about 2,800 light seconds, so it's not too bad. It's fairly easy. And there are 34 bodies in this system. I liked this site myself because everything kind of looks like exposed wiring. It's kind of like you took the side of a PC, sprinkled some sand on it, and then left it for a while. And it's sort of got dusty and exposed, and there's some shiny bits here and there. And I quite liked how this one felt. I mean, if we turn off the night vision for a moment.
It's not like I'm being timed or anything. No,
it's all right.
It's fine.
Well, you got your dip beams on, you can see.
Yeah, here we go.
But I love how this has sort of got, it's a mix between sort of a beige sort of general feel, and then you've got really pretty blue glows every now and then.
As you can see up here.
Pretty blue glows. So it's still active. Like, this is millions of years old, and it's still active.
So they're the other two.
Yeah, look how beautiful it is. And for anyone that's watching, what are you currently doing getting these pylons?
I'm trying to charge up these pylons so I can use them so I can power the obelisk. Is it the obelisk? The orb.
To get your big shiny orb working.
To get the big orb, the floaty orb, which will unlock me a Guardian module blueprint. Or
Awesome.
I don't know if this site is Guardian module.
This one,
their names are very
I
similar.
believe this one is.
So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get. It's a module blueprint or a weapons blueprint or.
No, I don't believe any of the ones we have here are theirs. Hold on, I do have a list somewhere.
I'm gonna get that right now.
I'm gonna just grab the list.
I know where the other one is, folks.
Excellent.
I found it.
So this one is type of blueprint available, vessel.
Ah, there you go.
Ooh, which is even better because I like the vessels.
Yeah.
So
it's quite a good one. So there you go.
Okay, so yeah, this is Sinuf ENHD1196. The others, so these are the other 4 systems you can pick from. You've got IC2391, sector FLX B17. It just rolls off the tongue, that one.
Doesn't it?
Really does. Especially the B17 part. I felt that was very strong. So that system is 619 light years from Sol and 393 light years from the Zende system. So pretty easier to get to. So if you got a mega ship to one of the further systems, you could bounce back along it quite nice and easily. It's a short supercruise distance from the main star to the nearby Guardian site. There's 30 bodies in the system, and the planet that the Guardian site is on is gorgeous because quite a few of them are quite dark. But this one, when I went to the site, had the most beautiful sunset going on. Absolutely gorgeous. Just the way it sort of, like the sun was going down, like bright orange with some sort of like red
hues.
Yeah, it was very pretty. It was definitely the prettiest one I visited because I went to all 5. 2 of them were scary. Oh no, what have you done?
I didn't charge the other 2, but at least I know where they are now.
That's all right. Go charge it. It's fine. You got time. Ooh.
We still have the other 2 to find. Right. Okay. I'm gonna go and charge them.
It's good though.
I'm on it.
I like those though.
Right. The next one.
Okay.
Page. What are the other sites?
So the next one is Sinuf ILN C2319. That system is 681 light years from Sol, 445 light years from Zende, and hello Tyrannus. It's less than 1,000 light second supercruise distance from the main star to the nearby Guardian site, so it's an absolute doddle, really easy to get to. Especially if you've got Supercruise Assist as well, so you just pop it on and off you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice and simple. 20 celestial bodies in the system, and it was kind of spooky because it was quite dark. And when I went there, so I took a screenshot, I can show you guys all later, but Barnard's Loop was hanging in this like really dark red, like a real ochre, and it was like, oh. Andre Porter is asking, do any of them have beacons? A couple of them do, I believe, yes. Couple of them do. I will try and find out which ones they are. But I believe...
There we go.
I think it was the 5th one. We'll come to that one shortly. Okay. 3 of 6 charged. Very easy.
Not even charging that one. Now, the thing is, I will be attacked as I charge these.
Excellent. Every time you land on the planet, it's dark, Jonathan. Yeah. So... you'll find that happens quite a lot. That's why you've got the night vision mode. You can also...
Charged it in, missed it. Missed the notification.
Dang it. It's all right, though. It's all right. You've only got 2 left to do, don't you?
Yep, but I've got to find them.
Oh, no.
It could be anywhere.
It seems to be a fairly logical pattern.
So, I would think it's just down the road. You never know.
Just down the road.
Down the road.
Down the road. Okay.
Right, let's speed it over because we've got 3 minutes to do this and
yeah.
can't.
And you've got night vision mode, which is going to help, which is excellent. So the 4th system is Sinuf GTH B43-1. Nice and simple. So this system is 777 light years from Sol, 539 light years from Zende. So we're getting further along each time. It's a really long distance from the main star. well, it's not Hutton long, but it's still long. It's 27,000 light seconds. So it's decent.
Yeah,
it's
a
decent.
decent
It's
distance.
the furthest one out of all of these. From the main star to the nearby Guardian site, and there's 30 celestial bodies, so plenty for you to scan and map and all that sort of thing. But the site was the one with the nicest blue glow to it, I found.
Okay.
So when I was going around, I sort of turned off all my lights in that, and I could see kind of nicely via some, good blue glow. It felt very calm.
So that's the one if you like your blue hues.
If you like blue
That's the one
hues,
to
you
go
got
to.
that one, but that's also if you like going really far.
You endure that.
And the last one is Sinuf PFE B45-5. So that one is 783 light years from Sol. It is 543 light years from Zende. It's a middling distance from the main star to the Guardian site, so it's about 8,000 light seconds. Not too bad, but the others are closer. 19 bodies in the system, and the planet that the Guardian site is on, just seemed to be perpetually dark, just really spooky. And then the main star in the system was bright red, so it was one of those. It felt quite oppressive to be there.
Right. Okay.
So it was really cool, but it was kind of spooky. So yeah.
There are candidate systems. Now, part of this first phase, is voting on those on the forums,
Yes.
and then from that point, Zende have expressed their ambition, which is, I think I might. Have expressed what they intend to do with these sites.
Das
technology.
Exorcist says, do any of them have beacons? I know at least one of them does. I will find the name out of that and see if I can pop it on the forums in the morning, as soon as I can, just so I can double check it's the correct one. But I know one of them does have a beacon, which is very fancy, and if you haven't seen a beacon before, you will like them. The first time I saw one work was like, oh my god, because it was way bigger than I expected.
Yeah, we've only put out very dark screenshots with them. So yeah, we haven't really shown them off that much.
Well, no, that's the thing though. You don't want to spoil it.
Well, there you go.
You
Paige.
don't want to spoil it.
What are the rewards going to be for all this? Now, obviously, I can't tell you what the rewards are.
Yes.
But what I can tell you is that Zende partners want to use this technology to improve humanity's own technology.
Yes.
So keep that in mind.
Yeah, do with that what you will.
What we want with these Interstellar is that they do have some gravitas with the community, but with the galaxy as well. So there are things to be gained from this, and anyone can get involved at. It's broken.
Ah, no.
But anyone can get involved at any time.
Yep.
And still have a hand in how this story develops.
I just saw that we have a lovely Sally with us in the chat.
Hello, Sally.
Lovely Sally.
Howdy.
So,
I have stolen her spot on this normal, her normal spot on this show.
So yeah, while we would love to tell you guys immediately what the rewards are going to be, what the ending's going to be, how it's all going to work, we're not going to spoil the story.
Yeah.
We're not gonna spoil that. Obviously, we've got a plan. We're gonna stick to it, and we hope that you guys are gonna enjoy it. And as we said earlier in the stream, we know that the forum vote wasn't your favourite part, which we fully understand. So we have fed that back. We're aware. Dev team are aware. We're gonna use that to see how we can improve future ones.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can't tell you how exactly because I am not from the future.
You're not from the future.
But
And yeah,
as
it's
soon as
something
we know,
we have to
you
look
will
at
know.
how it can be implemented.
Yeah.
So there you go. There you go.
So. And we didn't say there was going to be new tech. We didn't say there was.
There's going to be new tech.
Well,
Obviously, that's what Zende partners want from this.
spoiler.
I'm not saying any more, but Zende partners want to get Guardian technology. So
yeah, they're
what
not
are they
they're
gonna
not
do with
going
it?
there for nothing.
Yeah.
They're not going there for nothing. But yeah, Will is very nicely dressed like a Guardian today, which I'm very proud of. Actually, I didn't even realise until I started reading it, and I was like,
It was a mistake. I didn't realise.
it was great. It was good.
Be dressed like one.
It was
It
good.
just happened. It was a happy mistake.
So Exile, no, you don't have to take Guardian bits to the company. The company, because they want the Guardian bits, they are going to set up a megaship route between one of these Guardian systems and their home system of Zende, and you can hop on there, get dropped off at the Guardian site, and go about your business. And then what happens with that technology, you will find out later.
Yeah. So it's also worth mentioning that this is prior to Bridging the Gap when we announced this, but these Interstellar Initiatives are going to be tapping into lots of different elements of gameplay.
Yes.
So this first one is centered around Guardian technology and Guardian sites, as well as some other bits and bobs here and there. And that's kind of what we want to do with these. We want to found it.
Yes.
Finally.
Good job, mate.
Oh, that's not the right one. It's just bits and bobs.
Dang
it. I'll take out my revenge on this.
It's all right. You keep shooting
It's just a relic.
I do like how they fly off like, no.
Give me my relic. Right, back on the hunt.
Armored Raider says, does Raxler have a story? And to that I say, we ain't telling you nothing.
I've already spoiled enough today.
Yeah, William, you don't say anything else. I've used your full name now.
How,
that's how serious
how
I am.
often will the ferry depart? Once a week on Thursday? Yes.
Yes.
So it's worth mentioning. It's 2 megaships. One that starts in Zende, one that starts in the other place, and jumps back and forth. There you go.
PC Coffee says, which chat are we talking to? So we use a system called Restream, so that we can talk to you on Mixer, Twitch, and YouTube at the same time.
There you go.
Which is pretty cool.
So if we're responding to a question, you're like, I don't see that question anywhere. It's because we're talking to everybody.
Mersin says, does the corporation have its own megaship? Are we going to help build one? It's already got them, just needs to know where to send them.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Will hasn't done the Tom Holland. No, not that bad. Not that bad. I'm not having to be his Benedict Cumberbatch.
It's not that spoilery.
And yes, the story, all of this will be accessible to you on solo, private, and open. And all platforms.
All platforms, yeah.
All good. You can all join in.
So when does this thing start? So technically, it has already started with these phases. Now, the first phase isn't in-game, so to speak, but there will be events that unfold in-game, and they're spread over a month, approximately. So different pieces of this will be spread over a month.
Yeah. Approximately,
because sometimes, look at that, that's really beautiful.
That is pretty.
Looming over.
I like it. It's very gentle. And you should never say sorry for not playing in open. That's why we have multiple modes. It's completely up to you what you want to play on, whether you want to play with friends, just on your own, or out in open with a bunch of randos. It's completely up to you. Pretty simple. I like to play in open with a bunch of randos just because I like to jump in and be like, hello! But that's just me. That's just me.
I generally play, on my PlayStation, generally play in open.
Yeah.
Because I play with friends.
Yeah, sorted. But I know my husband preferred to play in solo just because he wanted his experience. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone asked, and forgive me the name, Fleet Carriers, when? From James Jones on YouTube. They're still planned for our development roadmap. We just don't have anything to announce. We wouldn't announce it right here on this live stream. So we have, guys, just a few more minutes. So if you do have any questions about Bridging the Gap, about Interstellar Initiatives, about Guardians, feel free to ask away. We'll try our best to answer them. Now, as I said, there are going to be more phases for the Interstellar Initiatives. So it is your chance to get involved now or in the future. But in the meantime, while that happens, do we want to do a giveaway?
Yeah, go on then.
What have we got, Paige? What have we got today?
I think we will go with the nice new fancy, like, can't be bought Mamba paint job.
So this is the Frontier Mamba paint job.
Yes.
I think we gave away some on the April update launch live
I think we've only given away 2 or 3 ever.
Yeah, ourselves, yeah.
Pretty funky.
Orange Spark asked, did Guardians wear socks?
Well, they were bipedal, so they had feet, so I guess, yes, probably. I think it's safe to say they would have had some kind of foot covering.
I'd hope so. Crocs?
Possibly Crocs, if they were weird. Possibly. I mean, depends what
Crocs.
the planet's surface was like. I think they would have gone for those toe socks, actually, if anything.
Oh, I like those.
Maybe they have 4 toes, like they have 4 fingers. Or
Yeah,
maybe they had,
4
like,
fingers.
12 toes.
Like The Simpsons. It's like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, you get rid of the thumb, usually.
You need a thumb.
Well, maybe they didn't.
How do you build all this awesome tech without a thumb?
Robots.
Anyway, we're going off on a tangent right now. So to win a Frontier Mamba paint job, it's very exclusive. You can only get it by receiving it on giveaways. on our channels and on our content creators' channels as well. So all you need to do is hashtag. It's going to be obvious, but it's bridging the gap. So hashtag bridging the gap. If you are in the UK, it's I'm going to try and tie it to real life events happening in the UK. But it's in certain areas across England, it's vote day. So make sure you vote on the forums for the poll. Loads of people have already voted, which is cool.
Good attempt, mate.
So yeah, I'm going to ask you to put in hashtag
bridging the gap.
And we're going to pick a winner.
Yep. Don't want to see any errant E's. You should all know how to spell bridging.
Bridging the gap.
If you don't, plenty of other people have put it in.
Bridging
There we go.
the gap.
Yeah, I do really like the Guardian sites. I haven't spent a ton of time around them before. Somebody did just ask in the chat, have I been hovering around one open? Yes, I have, because I spent a bunch of time there today, taking some screenshots and
floating around,
sort of figuring out what it was doing.
Yeah, I've unlocked the Guardian FSD booster on my own account, and I've got a load of materials to use still. So I need to unlock some other things. I'd like some of the Guardian weapons. Here we go then.
We'll have to visit a beacon at some point.
We will have to visit a beacon. And there'll be plenty of opportunity throughout this Bridging the Gap series. Does that mean community goals are gone for good? Cypher Ixie says. So it's worth mentioning that community goals aren't gone, but they are. We have changed the format that they come.
Yeah.
We want to tie them to narrative events. We want to tie them to these Interstellar initiatives. So we are going to be utilising them for various aspects of that. It's also worth mentioning that there were loads of player submitted CGs.
Yes.
They're not going away either.
No.
So we still plan to run those as well. So if you have submitted or want to submit a player community goal, you can do on our forums. Now lots of people submitted them.
Yes.
So we did have to set a policy where we won't be giving you a response if you had submitted one. But what we will do is if you submitted one and it's been approved and we're going to implement it, then we will be in touch with you.
Yes. So you will hear back.
You will hear back. Yes. So right.
There we go.
Once you've said it once, don't say it again. We are going to. We're going to
spin the wheel.
Mods are people and should be allowed to get giveaways. You know what though?
Mods are allowed to get giveaways.
Mods are allowed.
You are allowed. You are allowed. If you do it more than once, you get disqualified. No.
It just helps the spam, because obviously this is spammy, but it's all
spamming.
Fun. So here we go. Here we go.
All right.
I'm going to do my technical thing.
Oh, you're doing the counting thing.
Doing the counting
I
thing.
choose 163. There we are. That was as random as it can be. You're not going to click 163 times, mate.
No, I don't need to. It's going up in tens page.
Still the same, mate. Oh, there we are.
So, how do you say that?
I'm guessing it's weird.
So, on YouTube, our winner is Weir. That's
Weir.
W-E-E-R-E. You are the winner of our Frontier Mamba paint job. So, what you need to do
Congratulations.
Congratulations, yes. What you need to do is email us at community@frontier.co.uk and just say, hey, I won the paint job on the live stream, and we'll just get back in touch with you and verify. So that's
yes, and we will get that sent out to you. But yes, Weir, congratulations.
I don't know if I can tag you on this, but we're gonna certainly.
We're gonna try.
Anyway, our winner is.
Typing that is close enough.
I don't know what that's done.
That's telling you that it's posting.
Right, great. So Weir, you are the winner. Thank you so much for taking part. Right, Paige, we are at the end of the live stream today.
That's all we've got time for today, I'm afraid.
So, yes, I would like to thank everybody who came along tonight for your questions, for your feedback as well. Now, it's you guys have been really helpful today. We did release an update, April update patch 1,
yes.
A smaller patch with mostly corrective fixes and some improvements here and there. Please keep that feedback coming. It does really help us. We had some issues with missions today, and there was lots of player feedback, and that is instrumental when we need to get things fixed quickly. So keep it coming on the forums, but also the issue tracker as well. That's really helpful. Yeah, thanks for dropping by, Paige.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you for coming.
No worries. I'm happy to come along.
Thank you very much, and thank you everybody else for being here. And we will see you soon.
We will see you very soon. Bye-bye, guys. Goodbye.